I will say is that hire a lawyer. Hire a fucking lawyer, okay? Make sure that you, even if you don't, a lot of people think hiring a lawyer is like, damn, that's expensive. I don't got that kind of money, but honestly, do your research. Do your research on the companies. Do at least show somebody else the piece of paper, whatever. The contracts, that is legally binding you to somebody. And that shit is really serious, bro. You're really signing your whole life over to these folks. So make sure you're educated with who you're signing to. Make sure you're educated on what you're signing for real. Like, make sure you know what the percentages is. Make sure you again have a strong team around you, because that shit is important. That shit is really, really important, because motherfuckers is really in this game all about the bread. It's all about the money, and this shit is bigger than the money. This shit is you. There's only one you. That's why, God rest his soul, Pop Smoke, Nipsey Hussle. That's why when people really die, there can never be another. Unfortunately, there can never be another. There's only one you. So make sure you really thinking about that shit before you sign that paper. There's only one you. The whole take damn near. What? Whole thing. It's real exclusive. Sleeping on me is where you lost me. Got him all I can't keep him up off me. Drip, 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 too saucy. Look too good and when I lick it up off me. Drip, 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 too saucy. Looking too good and when I lick it up off me. Drip, 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 too saucy. Look too good and when I lick it up off me. You gon' slide for me, baby, you gon' shoot. Put me in the game, baby, I know what to do. You know I got A, baby, you know I'm the truth. Light it up in the streets like I do it in the booth, for real. Big buzz, baby, all I do is drip. So, ain't no poppin' like my lip. All I do is get her, run up by Seaside, hit her for real. Sleeping on me is where you lost me. Got him online, can't keep him up off me. Drip, 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 too saucy. Look too good, I wanna lick it up off me. Drip, 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 too saucy. Looking too good, I wanna lick it up off me. Drip, 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 too saucy. Look too good, I wanna lick it up off me. Follow the drip, follow the tips.
So what got you into rapping and, singing?
So a lot of people don't know this about me. Those that know, especially if you're from Seaside. I've been singing since I was 3 years old. Like, I started singing damn near before I could talk, for real. I did the Seaside talent show for the longest, for sure, at the Audemars Center, man. Shout out to Miss Lonnie. She was my mentor at the time, and she really, like, steered my way with, like, genres and, like, music, different kind of music I would listen to. Aretha Franklin, Shania Twain, like, shit that I had no understanding of, you know what I'm saying, especially being that young and shit. But I was doing that. I did the talent show, and then it kind of just stuck with me, to be honest. Like, I'm Pacific Islander, so music grew up in my household. My parents don't sing professionally, but the music is always on, so it was kind of always like my outlet. And then rapping, to be honest, I didn't start rapping until probably a year after I had my son, so 2018, just a couple of years ago. But really, to me, if you could sing, you could rap. If you could rap, you could sing. It goes hand in hand with each other. So, yeah, somebody made me mad, and I had to get a lot of shit off my chest. So, the bars came for sure. Yeah.
Was it hard to adjust, working with your career and then having a kid and then trying to, still pursue everything and go take trips and stuff like that?
Yeah. Honestly, for me, I feel like I had to learn to find my way with that, especially being a single mother at the time. I had to find what it was that kept me consistent, and what kept me consistent, what was my son. So my drive is him. My drive is making sure that there's going to be always residual income, that there's generational wealth. So for him, he is my core to that. So I found a way. Even when there wasn't a way, I found one. and I made one for myself, you know, with the strength of God and my family backing me. It took a long time for my parents to 100% back my career. You know, the constant fighting and, you know, you need to follow your dreams or you need a job or whatever it was. Like, you know, my mom wanted to always make sure that I kept the job. So I did go to school. I did get my degree and realized like this is, I put too much effort into building somebody else's career when I need to build my own. You know, like I'm trying to be the boss. So for me, I kind of just was like, fuck it, on a whim, like fuck it. I believe in myself that much, and luckily it took me a long time to build the team that I have around me now. You know, I fell out with a lot of people. I fell out with a lot of friends. I had fucked up business adventures and relationships that never worked out. So, you know, a lot of downs for sure. But one thing about it, everybody has their time. You know, so for me, I just waited for my time.
I see. So, you know, when did you start really taking, like, you know, the singing career and rapping? I heard that when you moved to Alaska, it's like when you really got fine in tune with your music, you started recording yourself.
Yeah.
Started getting more into the music. Together, like trying to pursue it.
Yeah. So, well, honestly, like you had said, what was it that started me rapping, or when did I started rapping? You know. So, like I said, I made a song that went viral. That was the first rap song that I made, and that shit touched over 500,000, and I believe 1 million on Facebook within a span of fucking 3 days, bro. My phone was glitching and all sorts of shit. Like I had to get a new phone, and that shit is really like I was in a different place. Like I was drunk all the time. You know, a lot of people don't know that because I kept that. You know, that was a lot of personal shit that I had going on in my life at the time. So for me, it's like I use that again as my drive, you know.
So, saying when you move back and now that you're pursuing it, how was it growing up in Seaside? You know, how was the lifestyle back then? You know,
Oh man,
what was the rap scene looking like? Did you have any people
you
looked up to in the rap scene back then?
So,
or, you know?
So for me, right, like growing up in Seaside was the fucking struggle. Like, if for those of you that don't know, I was signed to a management company back in 2019, I believe, and I had dropped an album called Butterfly Trenches. And on that album, the house that was behind me was the house that I grew up in. You know, and I only bring that up to say, we grew up in a 1-bedroom house. 1-bedroom, 1-bath house. There was probably like 8 or 9 of us in there. My granny house, and that was a block I had grew up on, you know, so it was hard. We were shoulder to shoulder in there, you know, like, and that was back when they built the long heaters in your house. So if you move too much, you gonna burn yourself, you know. For real. It was vicious. But no, I didn't have anybody personally in my life besides Nito, man. Shout out to my cousin Philip. Like, he was spinning at the time, and that was when Ghost Ride the Whip. Ghost Ride, that's great.
You're always trying to hop on the mic.
Always, man. I would bust through the door, like, because, you know, cultural parties, it's usually like the adults in the living room, and then the kids in another room. But the kids would usually be outside smoking and shit in the back. But Nito, he was so dedicated, and he would set up his shit in his room and just be in there, and I would be wanting to be right there with him. Like, I would duck off from my cousins, like, you know, I'm in the booth with you for sure. He got clips and videos of me like fucking 7-6 years old on there, like, you know. So for me, it's having that motivation, you know, like, damn, bro, you wake up and you like, oh, I need to write a song, or I need to, you know, it's a different type of feeling. And to be able to have somebody to relate to, it means a lot. So he was somebody for a long time that I had turned to music-wise, like, because doing music in my family is unheard of. Like, what is going on with you? Something's wrong. Are you smoking? What is you on? Like, you got to be drunk. Like, you know. So, yeah, for sure, having that guidance and having that tool for sure.
You talked about, you know, past failures and lessons you learned,
Mm.
and, you know, getting a good team behind you. You know, if you had to talk to your younger self, what would you tell your younger self about, you know, building a team around yourself, or, you know, getting assistance from people that, you know, say they're there to help you, and like what to do and what not to do?
So, and it's so crazy to me, excuse me. It's so crazy to me that you asked that question, because I've been thinking about that a lot with my life changes that I got going on right now. You know, I always say, like, damn, if I would have knew this back then, sorry. If I would have knew this back then, like, I wonder if it would be different. You know, but honestly, for those that know, like I said, whenever I reference giving my younger self advice, it was when I was 5 years old. I was dealing with a lot of shit, and at the time, life was real heavy on me at 5. I was molested for probably, it happened twice, so probably from the age of 5 to the age of 14, by 2 different sides of my family. You know, so my family was stripped from me. I was bouncing around and nobody understood why. There was a lot of shit going on. So for me, it's believing yourself, for real. Like, you're something special. You're something special. And with the team around you, keep wearing your heart on your sleeve. Because genuine will always outshine all the other shit. You stay true to yourself. You stay grounded. And keep talking to yourself. That self-care is everything. You know, a lot of people don't realize that pouring into you is really what keeps you fed. Pouring into you and having those daily conversations with yourself and acknowledging your struggles. Like, I feel like, especially right now with the shit that's going on in the world, people don't realize that when life is happening, motherfuckers is just adapting and moving with it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody just going with it, instead of like taking that 5 seconds and saying, like, yo, I'm here with you. You did good. You got through it. You did that, and I'm proud of you for that. Keep going. The way that I like to explain that shit is like a game. Each level that you level up in life, you're always gonna have, you know, something like adversity. You're always gonna have to go through shit. So you're gonna have to use the shit that you learned in your past and apply it to your future. And people try to look past that. You know, people try to say, like, that they so caught up in the image that they have for somebody rather than believing what they show you the first time. So for me, that was a long process that I had to learn. Like, whatever potential that you had in your head of them, it needs to go out the door, because they showing you who they is. You just overlooking it, you know, and that ties into the wearing your heart on your sleeve. You know, I've always had that. I need my family because I didn't grow up with one, you know. So I think if I could give myself that advice, like I said, stay down for you, man. And everybody else gonna come that's genuine, for sure. Everybody else will fall off. So what's happening with it, y'all? It's Nelly Starr. Make sure y'all go follow me on Instagram. That's Nelly with a Y, Starr with 2 R's. Shout out to Hyphy Dave. Shout out to Jesse. That's J&D Entertainment. Shout out to DJ Nito. It's the mixtape mob in here. We got Central Coast Slaps. Y'all already know what's going on. Premier Crew Visuals. Period. We got Jay. Shout out to Ocean Grown. Y'all see me. Y'all already know where I'm at. Yeah. Big drip.